Today we are going to do a bit of stretching together. This is something that I do in my classes and obviously with the dancers as well, but something that I probably don't share very much on my social platforms. So we are going to get started with a bit of a stretch today, only a few minutes, just to really release and relax the body. It might be something that you do first thing in the morning, last thing at night, after a workout, really any time of day. So we're going to start in a seated position. Just lengthen those legs away in front of you. If this is uncomfortable, you can just bend those knees slightly, dig the feet, the heels into the mat. What we're looking for is a nice neutral pelvis, drawing up so we can sit nice and tall and lengthen through the crown of the head. The chin's parallel to the floor. Just take a nice deep inhale breath here. I like to flex my feet here, just to draw back, lengthening through the back of the legs a little bit more. Sitting tall. On the exhale breath, we're going to draw the abdominals in. We're going to start to nod the chin down towards the chest, making this C curve in the spine, but not sinking back. We're taking it up and over forwards. Then we're going to inhale, gently reach the arms forward, keeping that C curve. We don't want to flatten out the back. Keep the shoulders down, keep the tummy button pulling back towards the spine. Reach forward through those fingers. And then exhale, draw back up. All the way back up, lengthen through the crown of the head. And again, exhale, nod the chin down, scoop up and over, reach those arms forward, making that lovely C-curve shape, reaching the fingertips. And exhale, drawing back. We've got one more here. Keep working through those legs as well, keep pushing down. Exhale, nod the chin. Reaching those arms forward on the inhale, scooping through the centre of the body. And exhale, draw everything all the way back up. Lengthen it up through the crown of the head. Reach those arms forward. We're going to just take a spine twist now. As we exhale, we're going to draw one arm back, reaching back, gazing back towards the elbow. Just hold here for a breath. Keep the legs down. And then gently reach the arms back. And again to the other side. Keeping the shoulders down. Find that stretch through the back of the body. Inhale, reach. We've got one more to each side after this. Keep lifting the elbow. Keeping the front arm reaching forward, the back arm reaching back. Last one. And gently coming all the way back and just relax the arms down. We're going to just come onto all fours now. So just turn over any way you want to, any way that feels good. And just coming into all fours, making sure the hips are over the knees. The shoulders are over the hands, the elbows are soft. Make sure the creases of the elbows are kind of facing in towards each other. What we don't want is this, especially if you're hypermobile, we don't want to be locking out those joints. For everybody really, let's just keep those elbows soft. The second finger's pointing forward. And I just want you to scoop up those abdominals just to support the lower back and just lengthen through the crown of the head. Draw the shoulders back. Shoulder blades pulling together and sliding down towards the hips. And just hold this posture, take a breath. Pushing the shins down into the mat, pushing the feet down. It's really common that we want to kind of hook those feet under, just push them all the way down into the mat, take a breath. On the exhale, we just bring the tailbone under, nod the chin towards the chest, pushing up into that cat stretch. And inhale, we're coming past neutral, just raise the gaze slightly, draw the shoulders back. And again, exhale, scoot that tummy button all the way back to the spine, gaze in towards the tummy. And then inhale, lengthen everything away, come slightly past neutral. Keep pushing the shins down into the mat, try and keep the weight centered, so try not to rock forward and back as you're doing this. We're going to add that in just a moment. Lengthen away, check those elbows are soft. And again, exhale, breath. And inhale, let's go past neutral. Nice, and then just come back to neutral. Find that posture again, drawing those abdominals. As we exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbone again. This time we're going to send those hips back. Send those hips back, all the way back, as far as you comfortably can go till you find that stretch. Pull the shoulders back, lengthen that tailbone away, so we flatten out through the back and then draw yourself back up, like you're pulling through the palms of the hands. Exhale, lift, reaching back, and then inhale, lengthen everything away, lengthen the crown of the head away, draw those shoulders back and bring the body up. And again, exhale. Almost a bit of a flow motion now. Bringing everything back up, abdominals engaged. Just as we work through this movement, even though we're not working out, we're stretching, it's still important that we're working through the centre of the body to keep the form correct. Let's do one more here, all the way back. Just finding mobility through the spine, through the shoulders, pulling on those hands, coming all the way back up. Good, and then just take a sit back, bring the toes together, send the knees apart, just come down into this nice back stretch, the whole back of the body. So reach the fingers away, draw the shoulders down and back, melt the forehead and chest down towards the mat, and just find this nice stretch through the body, through the hips, and just breathe into it for a breath or two. And then when you're ready, let's just draw everything back up. Bring everything back to centre first, so bring those knees back in underneath the hips. We're just going to roll up through the spine. We're going to just step forward with one leg into a half kneeling position. So we've got one leg kneeling and the other leg is out in front. Just make sure the knee is over the foot. Gently place the hands on the hips or hold on to something if you need to. Make sure this hip is over the knee and this knee is in line with the hip as well. Just gently, very small movement, just push forward into that hip. So you're going to feel this in this hip flexor here. Just pushing forward, squeeze into that glute and just find that stretch there. We don't have to go very far before we can really feel this hip flexor opening out at the front. Hands on the hips or hands on the knees, whatever feels comfortable. Draw the shoulder blades down and back. Find this stretch and just hold here. Squeeze into that glute. Really finding the length through the front of the leg. Good, and then just take the pressure off. So all you're going to do is just release the glute slightly, just take the pressure off. We're going to turn the back foot in slightly. So the knee and the hip are staying in line, but we're going to just turn that back foot in. So now we've got the toe in line with the front heel. Again, let's take the same posture, bring the hips back to square, leave the foot there, and just gently squeeze the glute, and again find that stretch, this time not only in the hip flexor, also into the back of the hip, that big glute muscle, just hold here. And when you're ready again, just release that glute. Bring the feet back together, bring the knees back together, exactly the same on the other side. So we step forward, making sure everything's hip width apart. We haven't snuck that foot over. Good, the foot's flat at the back, straight out in a right angle. Squeeze into that glute and very gently find that stretch in the hip flexor. It doesn't take long to find. Once you squeeze that glute, pushing those hips slightly forward. Just hold here. There's lots of myths about this kind of stretch where maybe coming down or leaning back, or you don't actually need to do much to find this stretch. All you do is engage those glute muscles, squeeze those glutes. Definitely doesn't take long to find it. And then just relax there. Let's turn that foot in. You can probably see it better on this side. So now we've got the toe in line with the heel. Again, back up, hips level, squeeze the glute, find that stretch. And just hold here for a breath. And then just very gently relax those legs back down. Just bring the knees back together. We are going to step forward again. This time we're going to step forward. I'm going to start on my right, so I'm going to step forward on my right. Stepping that leg forward, taking the knee to one edge of the mat, the foot to the other edge of the mat into our pigeon stretch. If this is uncomfortable, just find your limit with this. It might be that you have the back knee bent and you can just turn and lift the body over the front knee. We're aiming to have the back knee on the floor, the heel facing up towards the ceiling, and just very, very gently easing the body down over this front hip. So we're really finding that stretch through the side of the hip here into the piriformis, and just hold and breathe. The biggest thing with this stretch is to breathe into it. Even if you are in a slightly more lifted position here, and then just gently easing your way down. And I'd say maybe hold this for 30 seconds if you've got time. Really nice way to open out the hips and have a sense of freedom through the hips and the glutes as well. And then when you're ready, just pop back up onto the hands, sweep that leg back, and we're going to step forward with the other leg. So we take the foot to one edge of the mat, the knee to the other, and again very gently just lowering the body down, trying to encourage the back knee onto the mat, the heel up to the ceiling. So even if, like on this side, I can't quite get down as far as the other side, you can just hover there until these muscles start to release, and then you can just gently ease yourself down a little bit further. Just remember your posture as well. Just engage those abdominals slightly so you're not completely collapsing. Draw the shoulder blades down, lengthen the neck. Just hold in this position. And then when you're ready, we're just going to very gently sweep that leg back. We're going to actually come into a nice plank position. So just standing into a plank, push those heels back. So again, this is a nice stretch. Push back, the weight goes back into the heels. We're just going to rock forward and back, keeping that plank. Again, drawing in through those abdominals. And then on the exhale, push the hips up towards the ceiling and just lift up on to the tips of the toes, and then just lengthen away. So you're going to lift that tailbone up and then push down, sending the heels towards the mat. Making sure that those ankles aren't leaning out to the sides. Drawing the shoulders back. Last one here. And then just bend and stretch. So as we bend, you can walk the hands back slightly if you need to. Bend, bringing the upper body towards the thighs and then stretching away. Bending in. Really finding mobility through the shoulders as well. And last one, just dropping down onto those knees, bringing it back to a seated position. Whew, hopefully you should feel a bit more energized, a little bit more lengthened and flexible. Some of those postures you can hold for longer or do more of them, entirely up to you. Let's just take a nice deep breath to finish. So let's just sit nice and tall. And we're going to reach the arms up, keep the shoulders down, lengthen up through the spine, and exhale, press the hands down. And again, one more, inhale, reach, and exhale down, and we are done. See you soon.